This rumor is just too crazy. Are we in for a war between GENO and Steve? Let's talk about it.
Block content.
What's happening, my block buddies, and welcome to a brand new episode of Block Content's Leak Speak. My name is Callum, and this is going to be your content for today. For the longest time, people have been debating who will be coming to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in the third-party category, and for some reason, it really feels like just one of these two is going to make it in. And I don't really have any specifics on that. There's, of course, no data to support that, but a lot of people seem to think that these characters would fall in sort of a similar situation, and also there's a lot of evidence before and basically against these characters. So I wanted to talk about GENO and Steve specifically, and a rumor that basically says, well, one of these characters is going to be a fighter, one of these characters is going to be a costume. So I really want to talk about all this information and see it in sort of a positive light and talk about the fact that I think one of which is going to happen for sure. I don't think that both characters will be in Smash Brothers, but I'll detail all of that a little bit later. I think that it's going to be really fun to see how this match will end up in terms of results. I mean, we've all been there for the battle between Steve and Banjo-Kazooie because, of course, both characters are Microsoft, and that was kind of a battle to see who will win that fight. And we all know that Banjo-Kazooie won. Yeah, that's totally crazy cool, but it doesn't mean that Steve is out just yet. So I really wanted to take the time to talk all about that GENO and Steve stuff in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and all the other evidence that is supporting the two characters. And of course, I've been answering many of you guys' questions about Smash Bros. Ultimate and new fighters in our show Question Blocked, where I answer your questions. What do I think of your favorite game? How do you start making YouTube videos? Well, whatever you can think of, send your question through to blockedcontentmail@gmail.com, and I'll answer your question live in the show in our next Question Blocked episode. Here's a brand new giveaway. You can win one of these Super Mario surprise capsules from Tomy. Any Mario item, Yoshi, or character could be inside. I leave them closed so you can find out who's inside when you win. Giving away 4 of these, so remember to like this video, subscribe to Blocked Content right now, and comment down below to enter for the giveaway. Alright guys, let's head into the main topic of today, and that's this very simple post that posts about GENO and Steve saying, enjoy your next character and deluxe me costume, gamers. Find out for yourself which is which. So it doesn't really have any more info other than that. There's no other post that talked about this too, so I can't really find any more evidence on this. But what I can say is that even if this is real, even if this is fake, I think that there is a high possibility of one of 4 things happening. One would be that GENO would be a fully playable character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. 2 would be that Steve would be a costume, a Mii Deluxe costume that would look a lot like Steve, but of course will play like a Mii fighter. And then the other hand, it would be GENO who could become the Deluxe Mii costume, being kind of upgraded from his status from Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. And on the other hand, it could be Steve that could be a full-fledged fighter in the game. Now, I think that one of those 4 is going to happen, and not 2, and not anything else like that. Because I think, you know, generally, Smash Bros. Ultimate has been wish fulfillment for the longest time, and I think the fact that we've gotten so much stuff in the game already is really telling. Sakurai is pulling out all the stops, but I don't think that we can count us that lucky that we'll get 2 of the greatest icons within third party right now. I mean, the top of the lists still have GENO, even though the character isn't huge, right? And especially right now, the character isn't nearly as big as it was back in the day, and the character isn't well known by the younger audiences. But for Steve, that is a whole different ballgame. So in terms of marketing, you could really see Steve being the more safe choice, right? Minecraft is the biggest video game of all time. A lot of kids are still playing it, and everyone in that area, everyone in that age group would know Steve a whole lot better than a character like GENO. So in that sense, it actually would make more sense financially and just in the marketing spectrum to have Steve be a full-fledged character. Of course, using all those different moves from Minecraft, like building blocks and taking them away, and Sakurai, of course, being very creative with what Steve actually can do in the game. Now, that's evidence for that character. I think there's evidence too for GENO as a playable character, and that's very easy. I mean, GENO is already in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in some point. Yes, he is a spirit at this moment, and it does actually mean a lot that Min Min has just recently been upgraded from a spirit to a full-fledged fighter with now a fighter spirit as well. So it means that it's totally possible now for GENO actually to appear, wish upon a star, something that isn't real, becoming, sentient, becoming real, a puppet becoming an actual character. Kind of like the Pinocchio effect here with GENO would make total sense for the character, would be fun to show off in a trailer as well, kind of, connected to that spirits thing again. And I think it would just all around make sense. The introduction for GENO in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U as a Mii costume made a lot of people sad, but then the idea that a lot of these things are getting upgraded, are either getting upgraded to another status or becoming playable fighters. And I think that GENO is that one exception that could transform from a Mii costume into a full-fledged Super Smash Bros. Fighter. There's so much moveset potential from Super Mario RPG alone, and if Sakurai is going to get creative with a lot of those aerials and crazy other moves, tilts and stuff like that, I think GENO could be some very special thing. Even if you compare it to characters like Ridley, King K. Rool, Banjo-Kazooie, where it's just you always wondered what these characters would feel like in Super Smash Bros. And now, you can see it very plainly in front of you. Now they're in the game. So yeah, the evidence to the contrary for both these characters, I think for GENO, well, one thing is, it's taken a little bit long, right? It's been very long since we've heard anything about GENO in terms of Mii costumes and any reference to the character, so that could probably mean that in all those Mii costume trailers that we get with every update, maybe GENO will show up one time, and a lot of people will get very sad when they hear that Forest Maze song again, right? I mean, we've all had that moment in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS when that song showed up and it was like, oh yeah, GENO is not a playable character, he's a Mii costume, so please enjoy that we do at least have something. Well, the same might be happening here. I don't think that possibility is high. I actually have GENO very high on my list, but right now it does feel like a possibility. For Steve, I actually feel like a Mii costume is a lot more clear. I could definitely see Sakurai make that decision because in some aspects, this could be considered sort of an indie character, especially how the game started out. I'm not talking about the big, mega thing that it is right now, but yeah, Sakurai could still see it in those terms. And then, of course, a lot of those indie characters are being upgraded to more of a deluxe Mii costume status. So I could see that being the case for Minecraft as well, with maybe not even just Steve, but also other skins from Minecraft becoming also Mii costumes. So there's a lot to break down here. There's a lot of interesting facts about Minecraft as well that I think could, tie in very well into the game. So if Steve becomes a playable fighter, I think we're in for a really great stage as well. And in terms of final smashes for both of these characters, there's a lot you can think of. So I'm really curious what you guys think of all this crazy battle between GENO and Steve. Do you have a favorite between the two? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm very curious what you guys think of all this. If you comment down below, that could actually be featured and read out loud in our next video. And today's comment question is, of course, GENO or Steve? Who's going to be a Mii costume? And as for a previous comment question winner, our answer comes to us from our user Shane Williams, saying, I mean, since we didn't get a real Nintendo Direct in June, it will be really possible that Nintendo will come out of the shadows and finally show what the people really want besides Animal Crossing and Paper Mario. I really hope that they will bring a new Nintendo Direct in July so we could heal after the Evo drama. If this comes true, I'm hoping for GENO in Smash, new Mario game remake, hopefully Super Mario 64, and a Mario Kart 9 announcement. Edit, also hoping for a Super Mario Sunshine game, either a sequel or remake. So Shane, thank you so much for sending in your comment. I do think with all that Evo and fighting game drama that's happening right now, I mean, I don't even want to call it drama because it is really, really heavy, and it is stuff that it's affecting a lot of people and is trying to make the community whole again in some sort of crazy way. So I appreciate people for speaking out, and there has to be change, right? So focusing on all the good stuff, I think, is a very good way and a very good approach. That's what we do here at Block Content. So if something like a new Mario remake is close, hopefully a trilogy or 64 Sunshine and Galaxy and Mario Kart 9, I'm not a crazy Mario Kart fan, but for some reason, I get very hyped for something like Mario Kart 9. So really curious about all of that, and thank you so much for sending in your comment. These are always so much fun to read though, so thank you so much. And of course, a big shout out to our latest Patreon supporters and the super chats you guys sent during live streams. You guys make block content possible. So if you want to have yourself created in pixel art, or join me for a discussion, or have your own ideas become animations, go to patreon.com/blockedcontent. There's a bunch of incredible rewards there waiting just for you. And remember, if you're not yet a member of the Block Content family, hit subscribe now, smash that like button, and ring the bell for notifications, and all the news and fun you care about will be delivered on the daily to you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you around the corner. There's always more blocked content. See ya!